Live from Herman Brothers Field here in Palmer, Alaska. For some Alaskan Baseball League action, it's the Mat-Su Miners playing host to the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Hello and welcome into our broadcast, everybody. I'm Connor Mills alongside Brad Walker, and this is game 1 of 2 as these two teams will play 4 games against each other in the last 3 days. On the mound for game 1 for the Pilots is Dominic Pascalina, and for the Miners, out of Arizona State, Brady Corrigan. Let's get into the starting lineups. For the visiting team, for the Pilots, leading off, playing shortstop, number 2, Jordan Arruda. The second baseman, batting second, number 15, Elliot Curtis. In left field, the number 3 batter, number 14, Braden Daniel. Batting cleanup in right field, number 12, Eli Rollinson. The designated hitter, number 35, Aaron McCann. At first base, number 38, Emilio Nogales. The catcher, number 11, Zach Presno. The third baseman, number 32, Garrett Kosas. And then the center fielder, number 21, Zachariah Jared. And, of course, on the mound, Dominic Pascalina. Brady Corrigan on the mound for your Miners. Corrigan, his first appearance for Mat-Su this year. As we said before, out of Arizona State. And now, since we have some time, let's take a look at the defensive alignment for the Miners. Corrigan on the mound, David Avitia behind the plate. Kona Quiggle at first base, Brett Owen at second. Third base, Tyler Bassetti. And then the shortstop, of course, is Drew Swift. The outfield alignment left to right, Danny Wright, he's in left. Brady Merritt in center, and Hunter Jump in right. Designated hitter for the Miners. Just got him yesterday, number 15, Aaron Walters. As we're about to get underway here, familiar leadoff hitter for the Miners. We've seen him lead off now all 3 games we've faced against him. Jordan Arruda. From the windup. And the first pitch from Corrigan's on the outside for ball 1. Jordan Arruda, 5'10", 185 pounds, a sophomore from Fresno State, as he takes that pitch in for a strike. And the next pitch is also taken in for a called strike. Count is now 1-2. Pitch from Corrigan misses too high. Evens up the count at 2-2. Arruda used to going deep into counts. Corrigan misses with the fastball outside, which renders the count full.
Really nice leadoff at bat here from Jordan Arruda. Working the count already full. And that's exactly what you want to do as leadoff batter is work that pitcher. And
Corrigan misses outside for ball number 4. So Brady Corrigan starts off his Miners career with a walk. Runner on first base, Jordan Arruda. And the second batter of the game, the second baseman, number 15, Elliot Curtis.
You know, Connor, in game 2 of the doubleheader, the last time we faced the Pilots, that's what really hurt us in game 2 was the struggle with the walks. That's how they scored early and got on the Miners early. So you wouldn't want to see much of that today in this new doubleheader.
First pitch to Curtis is lifted into center field. Merritt makes the one-handed snag, and there is 1 out. It's a little hit-and-run action trying from the Pilots as Arruda was on the run. but he'll have to go back to first. Merritt makes a catch in center. One away. As the 3-batter, Braden Daniel is now batting. Corrigan from the stretch, and the pitch. Finds the inside corner in there for a called strike. Corrigan from Plainfield North High School in Plainfield, Illinois. Bats right, throws right. 6'2", 200 pounds. Steps off the mound. Make sure Arruda does not go anywhere. Corrigan from Arizona State. He was a freshman this year as he misses with the pitch low and outside. To even up the count at 1-1. And the pitch. Swung on, lifted into left field. Right is moving over into foul territory. Makes a catch. 2 down. So another hit and run situation. Pilots are attempting. And 2 fly balls into the outfield. Both are outs.
Yeah, the batters for the Pilots are doing their job and getting the bat on the ball when Arruda is running, but unfortunately, they're just lifting it too high in their flyouts. So Arruda is just stranded over there on first. Not exactly, I'm sure, the game plan that the Pilots wanted to do, but just not quite working out.
And the first pitch into Eli Rollinson, the right fielder, is a called ball. Rollinson had a home run last night, the first home run in the Alaskan Baseball League. As he swings and fouls this one back to even up the count at 1-1. So we're here in the top of the first inning. Counts even, 1-1. 2 outs, runner on first. That's Jordan Arruda. Brady Corrigan on the mound, pitching to Eli Rollinson. Corrigan from the stretch, and the pitch. Swung on, grounded into foul territory on the left field line. Rollinson now down to the count 1-2. This is the Anchorage Glacier Pilots here at Herman Brothers Field, home of the Matsu Miners. Corrigan's pitch is taken for a strike, and that will retire the side. So a called strike 3 on Eli Rollinson. Retires the first half of the inning. 1 walk, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. As the Matsu Miners come to the plate for the first time, you're listening to the Miners on the Miner Radio. Welcome back. This is the bottom of the first inning. The Matsu Miners taking on the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. This is game 1 of 2. And as a reminder, we only play 7 innings in doubleheader situations. Leading off the Miners, number 2, the shortstop, Drew Swift.
Leading off your Miners, your shortstop, number 2, Drew Swift.
As our PA man, Wolfgang Winter, said so eloquently, Drew Swift stepping in to face Dominic Foscalina. First pitch misses inside for ball one. Swift moving back, making sure he doesn't get hit. Dominic Foscalina was a position player when we last saw him out on the field. As he misses inside with another fastball, count is at 2-0. Drew Swift batting from the right side, facing Foscalina, right-handed pitcher. From the windup, the pitch, another ball inside. The three fastballs missing on the inside half. Count is at 3-0. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first. No score. This game is just underway. And the pitch is in there for a called strike. Count goes now to 3-1.
Swift thinking that was ball four, taking a step towards first base after that pitch was thrown.
And this one is grounded over to shortstop, fielded cleanly, thrown over to first. Not in time. Off the base is a call for Nogales as Drew Swift uses his speed to beat out that one. The throw from Aruda was a little offline. Nogales had to come off the bag. His foot wasn't on the bag when he caught the ball. So Drew Swift is safe over at first base, and the Matsu Miners are in business with the leadoff man on.
Aruda just seemed to sort of speed himself up, and when he did that, kind of messed up with the ball, considering Swift's speed as he was headed down the line.
So that'd be credited as a hit as the first pitch into Danny Wright is a called strike. Danny Wright, listed as 6 foot, 180 pounds from southeastern Missouri. Pick off over to first, and Swift is back sliding. So they're going to credit Drew Swift with a hit. Infield single for him. He's on first, and the pitch into Danny Wright is on the outside corner for a called strike. He falls behind 0-2.
Foscalina definitely going to be careful with Swift over there on first. Already has 3 stolen bases through 3 games, including 2 stolen in game 2 against the Pilots on Friday.
And he's set. This one's lined into left field. That's in for a base hit. Swift rounding second, but he's going to stay as he sees a play in front of him. Danny Wright on first base with a single. So 2 batters for the Miners and 2 hits, both singles. As the new Miner from Texas A&M steps up to the plate, Aaron Walters.
A lot of excitement behind Walters, watching him in batting practice the past few days. He's hitting a lot of bombs, about 10 plus over the past 2 batting practices over the fence. So expect a lot of power out of this kid and should bring excitement to this Miners order throughout the summer.
So Foscalina pitching from the stretch, and he misses low and inside for a ball. Aaron Walters, the designated hitter, batting from the left side. Walters listed as 6 foot, 200 pounds. Freshman out of Texas A&M. He pops this one into shallow center field. We'll see who calls it, and it will be the center fielder, Gerard, to make the first out here in the bottom of the first. So Walters retired. And up comes the cleanup hitter, the right fielder, Hunter Jump. A teammate of Drew Swift from Arizona State, listed as 5'11", 190 pounds. California. Curveball misses outside for the first pitch to Jump. Foscalina trying to work out of some early trouble here. And Jump lines this one into right center field. That's going to fall for a base hit and maybe more. It gets by the right fielder. In comes Swift, rounding and staying at third base is Danny Wright. Standing on second with an RBI double is Hunter Jump. He puts the Miners Up by 1 here in the bottom of the first.
Wonderful hit there by Jump. Lined it right in that gap between right and center where no one could get it. And a little trouble over there in right. Getting the throw in, so allowing Drew Swift to easily score from second.
Eli Robinson kind of bobbled the ball a little bit. Stayed relatively in his area, but could not get Hunter Jump as the first pitch into David Avitia is a ball. So a leadoff single from Drew Swift. Danny Wright followed suit with a single of his own as Foscolina's pitch misses low to David Avitia. And it's going to be called as a balk. Foscolina balks in the second run of the game. Danny Wright comes in to score as the Miners take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. Not the way you want to start the game for Dominic Foscolina. Foscolina set, throws. This pitch is handled by the catcher, Presno. A good block by him, keeping Jump at third base. So let's try this recap again. Drew Swift led off with a single. Danny Wright had a single of his own. Aaron Walters flew out to center field. Hunter Jump with the first RBI double of the game to put the Miners on the board as Foscolina's pitch misses high to Avitia. Count is 3-0. Hunter Jump had the double, bringing in Swift. And then during this at-bat, Foscolina balked in Danny Wright as he misses with this pitch, and Avitia is on base with a walk. So 2 runs have already scored. Kona Quiggle now coming to the plate. Kona Quiggle. This is at 6'2", 205 pounds from Grand Canyon, a sophomore. He hails from Phoenix, Arizona. First pitch into Quiggle from Foscolina is in there for a called strike. Runners at the corners, 1 out, 2 runs are already in as the Miners are leading the Pilots 2-0. Pitching from the stretch, swung on. This one's laced into center field. That'll fall for a base hit. In comes Hunter Jump with the third run of the inning. Kona Quiggle standing on first with an RBI single, and David Avitia on second. The Miners jump out to a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. So some great offensive production here for the Miners coming in the bottom of the first, staying hot right out of the gate.
They really are bringing the bats out and not scared to keep swinging, just as they did in the 2 games against the Pilots. Just didn't get a lot of run production in game 1, but did in game 2, and overlapping that here today on this Sunday's game 1 of the doubleheader.
So Tyler Passetti took the first ball from Dominic Foscolina in there for a ball. 1-0 to Bassetti is outside. 1 out, 2-0 the count. 3 runs are in here in the bottom of the first. Tyler Bassetti at the plate. Dominic Foscolina on the mound. The 2-0. This one catches the outside half of the plate, in there for a called strike. 2-1 the count to Tyler Bassetti. Bats right, throws right. 6 feet tall. He takes this one just outside for ball number 3. 6 feet tall, 165 pounds. Sophomore from Nevada Reno. From Vacaville, California. And the pitch swung on. This one's fouled back, as the count is now full. 3-2, 1 out. Bottom of the first inning. Matsu Miners leading the Anchorage Glacier Pilots 3-0. The last doubleheader that happened on Friday, the Miners and the Pilots split the series 1-1. And the pitch, this one's fouled off to the right side and out of play. Nice little souvenir for the nice crowd out here. It's an early start, 4 p.m. Of course, we talked about how the city of Palmer came out during Colony Day. And this one misses high and outside. So the bases are loaded against Dominic Foscalina. As David Avitia stands on third base. Over there at second is Kona Quiggle. And standing at first with a walk is Tyler Bassetti. Now batting the second baseman, Brett Owen. Owen from Kansas State, a freshman from Blanchard, Oklahoma. Grounds the first pitch over to shortstop. Underhand toss to second to get one. But an RBI and a run will cross the plate for Brett Owen. Make that 4 runs here in the bottom of the first inning for the Miners. Number 9 hitter, center fielder, Braden Merritt. Merritt batting from the left side. And he watches the first pitch go in for a ball. So now there are 2 outs. 4 runs are in, runners at the corners. Braden Merritt at the plate. Drew Swift got us all started with a single, followed by a Danny Wright single. Hunter Jump then had a RBI double as Merritt swings and fouls this one back. So Jump had the first RBI of the game. Danny Wright was then balked in from Foscalina. That's how they scored the second run. Kona Quiggle then had an RBI single. Tyler Bassetti walked. Brett Owen ground into fielder's choice, which brought in a run. And this one is pitched inside, and here comes Kona Quiggle. He scores. Pass ball as the Miners are staying red hot here in the bottom of the first. So Kona Quiggle coming in from third as he scores Miners' 5th run in the bottom of the first. A rough go of it so far for Dominic Foscalina, the Pilots pitcher, as Merritt fouls his pitch back. 5 runs are in on 4 hits. Foscalina trying to stop the bleeding here, as Braden Merritt looks to tack on a couple more runs, and he swings and misses at this pitch, which leaves the side retired. So not before the Miners scratch across 5 runs and take a commanding lead over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. Welcome back into the broadcast, everybody. Connor Mills alongside Brad Walker. We'll be with you for the entirety of the Matsu Miners season. As the Miners scored 5 in the bottom of the first to give Brady Corrigan a 5-0 lead. His first pitch into Aaron McCann, the designated hitter, is outside for ball 1. 1-0 pitch is taken on the inside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Here in the top of the second, Miners leading the Pilots 5-0 after an impressive offensive production. Corrigan misses with that last pitch. He falls behind McCann 3-0. This one catches the outside corner for a called strike. Corrigan's pitch, pop fly into left field. Danny Wright eyeing it up, circling under it, makes a one-handed grab, and 1 down. After falling behind Aaron McCann 3-0, Corrigan battles back, gets him to pop fly out into left. With that out, that'll bring up Emilio Nogales, a new batter for the Pilots. We haven't seen him yet in the first doubleheader, as players are still coming in from all across the globe. First pitch into Nogales is in there for a called strike. And the 0-1 is swung on and fouled back to make that 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the second. Emilio Nogales behind the count, and the pitch is taken high for ball 1. Nogales, a freshman from Fresno State. Hometown San Jose, California, swings and fouls this one back to stay alive. Count remains at 1-2. Emilio Nogales, 6'1", 220 pounds. Watches this pitch, and it caught him on the foot. Emilio Nogales will be on first base with the first hit by pitch. And Corrigan will have to deal with another base runner for the second straight inning. So after battling back against Aaron McCann, getting him to fly out to left field, Corrigan hits Emilio Nogales. So there's a runner on first for Zach Presno. The catcher fouls this one out to the right side. Quiggle moving over, but he's going to run out of room. Corrigan gets ahead, 0-1 on the catcher, Zach Presno. Presno, another college player from Fresno State, from Clovis, California. Gonna have to get a new bat. I know in game 1 of that doubleheader on Friday, Miners broke 2 bats. And then the Pilots have just broken a bat here as Presno looks to settle back in. Corrigan's pitch is just a bit high. Evens up the count of 1-1. Runner on first, Emilio Nogales. Corrigan on the mound, pitching to Presno. And that's going to be high. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out here in the top of the second. Corrigan pitching from the stretch, and he deals. Fastball misses on the inside half, and he falls behind Presno, 3-1. Brady Corrigan just given a 5-run lead after that bottom of the first. And the pitch catches the outside half. Count runs full to Zach Presno. 3-2, 1 out. Miners leading the Pilots 5-0. Corrigan checks over to first. And Nogales is in there, sliding back head first. Quiggle holding on. No Gallus. Corrigan's pitch. This is grounded on to the left side, but foul. We got Larry McCann, the associate head coach for the Pilots, being the third base coach. Corrigan looks over, and he deals. Misses high and inside, and that's ball 4. So Fresno is walked. Now there are runners at first and second, 1 out. Here in the top of the second.
Third baseman number 32, Garrett Kosis.
Garrett Kosis is now the batter. Bats on the left side. Steps into the batter's box. Brady Corrigan. The pitch is in there for a called strike. Kosis, 6'4", 230 pounds, a freshman from Wichita State, from Omaha, New England. And the pitch from Corrigan is also taken for a strike. Brady Corrigan ahead of Garrett Kosis quickly. Count is 0-2.
Connor, Corrigan only 4 starts at Arizona State with 17 appearances, so may not be used to being back on the mound as a starter.
Kosis is able to hold his swing. Ball sails a little high. Count is at 1-2.
And that could be why Corrigan just struggling a little bit here out of the gate.
Brady Corrigan. The pitch is swung on and just fouled off.
Yeah, as I just mentioned, it could be how Corrigan's just struggling a little bit and really not used to coming out in the starting role, considering during the spring he was used more of a reliever. But seems to be settling in on his own here as he leads the count.
And the pitch is on the inside corner. That evens up the count at 2-2. We're coming to you live from Herman Brothers Field here in Palmer, Alaska. It's the Matsu Miners taking on the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. They're leading after the top of the second. The pitch from Corrigan is taken on the outside corner for a ball. Kosis once again able to hold his swing. Check over to the second base umpire.
Kosis literally held his bat where he believed he finished to try to show that he did not swing through.
Brady Corrigan checks over to second base. No throw. Nobody was covering. Emilio Nogales goes back standing. And the pitch is taken on the outside corner. That's ball 4. So after retiring the first batter, Corrigan then hits Emilio Nogales, walks Zach Presno, and now has walked Garrett Kosis. Now draw a visit from the pitching coach, Jeff Erlab.
Erlab going out there to just trying to calm down his starting pitcher, just coming off his freshman season. Corrigan was trying to tell him some tips and pointers on how to get his command back here early in the game, as he did get the first batter down. But the Miners still with the chance to get a double play if need be.
Bases are loaded. Matsu Miners scored 5 in the bottom of the first. Hoping to keep that 5-run lead here. Brady Corrigan in some trouble. He will have to deal with Zachariah Jared. Jared playing center field was a starting pitcher. And he takes the first pitch in from Corrigan for a called strike.
Mound visit must have worked well considering Corrigan coming out with a first pitch strike.
Will always make your pitching coach happy. First pitch strike. And the second pitch is fouled straight back. And he is quickly ahead 0-2. 0-2 the count. 1 out. Bases are loaded. Emilio Nogales on third base. Zach Presno at second. And Garrett Kosas standing on first. Brady Corrigan from the stretch. He deals ground ball over to Drew Swift at second. Underhand toss to second and over to first in time for the double play. So just what Brady Corrigan needed. A double play to get out of the inning. He gets out of a bases loaded jam as the Miners retain their 5-run lead. No damage. Couple walks. No runs. No hits. No errors. 3 left on base. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. Brady Corrigan getting out of trouble on the top half of the second inning as the bases were loaded, but a double play from our leadoff batter, Drew Swift, over to Brett Owen, thrown over to first in time. So the Miners are coming to the plate after scoring 5. Drew Swift attempts a bunt, but it goes foul.
Miners going through all 9 of their hitters that last inning. A real offensive display back in the bottom half of the first inning, I should say.
And this one bends around Drew Swift, able to not get hit there. Evens up the count at 1-1. The pitch from Foscolina misses outside. Counters at 2-1. So Drew Swift got us all started in the first inning with the leadoff single. Was able to come around and score a run. Pitch from Foscolina is popped up straight back into the Miners fan section. Somebody will get a nice souvenir. As the count now evens itself up at 2-2. 2-2, nobody out, bottom of the second. Pitch from Foscolina is fouled off to the right side and will go out of play. As we said before, Drew Swift from Arizona State, hometown, Chandler, Arizona. Bats right, throws right. 6'1", 150 pounds. Ground ball over to second base, fielded, thrown over to first in time, 1 away. Routine play from Curtis as Foscolina gets the first out of the bottom of the second. Today is a doubleheader, and we only go 7 innings for doubleheader play. Brett Owen pulls back a bunt attempt and takes it for a ball. Check that. That's Danny Wright Brett Owen, the usual guy who bats second, moved down in the lineup today. Danny Wright in left field is at the plate. Wright took that last pitch in there for a ball.
New guys entering in. Just Coach Taylor still mixing around his lineup, trying to get that perfect combination of 9 guys.
And 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the second. The pitch from Foscolina is taken on the outside half for strike number 1. Head coach Ben Taylor out there at third base. First base, as Wright fouls this one off. Fills up the count of 3-2. First base coach, Tyler LeBron, the head coach of Sunny Slope High School in Phoenix, Arizona. The pitch from Foscolina taken on the outside as Danny Wright gets on base with a walk. So Foscolina doing better than he did in the first inning. Surrendering leadoff singles to Drew Swift and Danny Wright. Now here in the bottom of the second, Danny Wright's on with a walk. Aaron Walters, Texas A&M, takes the first pitch for a ball. Not a big lead from Danny Wright at first. Pitch into Walters is taken for ball number 2. Two balls, no strikes to Aaron Walters. Dominic Foscolina pitching from the stretch. He deals. Taken for a strike on the outside. So Aaron Walters, 20 years of age, bats left, throws right. 6 foot exactly, 200 pounds, from Caryville, Texas. He swings and fouls this pitch back. Count sits at 2-2. Went to Center Point High School. And at Texas A&M, he's majoring in sports management. Two, runner at first. 1 out. Walters at the plate grounds this one over to second baseman Elliott. Little trouble getting out of his glove, but it gets there in time. 2 away. So now there's a runner at second base, Danny Wright, as Walters is retired on the fielder's choice. And now Hunter Jump at the plate. Jump batting from the left side. Swings at the first offering. This one is belted into left field. That's going to fall for a base hit, maybe more. Around comes third is Danny Wright. And sliding into second base with an RBI double is Hunter Jump. His second RBI of the day. So Hunter Jump off to a hot start in his short tenure with the Miners. David Avitia at the plate from Grand Canyon. Avitia will look to get the base runner in as he takes the curveball in there for a called strike. Miners now extend the lead to 6-0 on 5 hits. Foscolina set and throws in there for another breaking pitch for a called strike. Avitia down in the count, 0-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. 1 run is in. Miners leading the Pilots 6-0. And this one is on the outside. Bounces away from the catcher Presno. And Hunter Jump advances on the pass ball to third base. So now with the runner at third, David Aviti at the plate. Dominic Foscolina still on the mound. The pitch swung on and just fouled off. Aviti staying alive. One, two, the count, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the second. Runner at third. David Aviti at the plate. He takes that pitch in the dirt for ball number 2. So the Miners again in position to extend their lead. Already added 1 here in the bottom of the second, thanks to a Hunter Jump RBI double. Ground ball from David Aviti just goes foul along third base line.
Aviti doing a nice job of protecting right now, fouling off any pitch anywhere near the strike zone.
I was watching Ben Taylor over there. He made sure he walked it all the way over, found a nice fan, and handed the foul ball. And the pitch. Struck out. David Aviti. So Dominic Foscolina is able to limit the damage here on the bottom of the second, but not before Hunter Jump tacks on 1 more run with an RBI double. At the end of the second, on 1 hit, 1 run, no errors, 1 left on base. The Matsu Miners leading the Anchorage Glacier Pilots 6-0. You're listening to the Miners on the Miner Radio. Welcome back into the broadcast. First pitch from Corrigan's grounded over to second base. Owen has it, fires over to first in time. 1 pitch, 1 out. Effective work from Brady Corrigan. That retires Jordan Aruda.
That has to feel good from Corrigan. Sort of struggling last inning, worked his way into a jam in which he did work out of it, but has to feel good. 1 pitch, 1 out.
And the first pitch to Elliot Curtis is in there for a called strike. He sets and the pitch. This one is grounded over to second again on 1 hop. Owen fires over to first in time. 2 away. 3 pitches. Pretty effective right now for Brady Corrigan.
Yeah, 2 of them have so far gone to Brett Owen, so he's getting some work in this inning over at second base.
I was about to say, Curtis flied out to left field, center field, check that. His first at bat. But now that doesn't matter. Now the batter is Braden Daniel. Takes the first pitch from Corrigan in there for a strike. Second pitch is a fastball too far outside. Evens up the count at 1-1. So Braden Daniel flied out his first time to center field, and a quick working Brady Corrigan is able to get ahead of him 1-2. Corrigan finding his rhythm, settling in nice. And the fastball is fouled away from Daniel.
Nice pitch on the outside edge from Corrigan there. Daniel just literally had to fling the bat out, barely got a tip on it.
I'll slow him down a little bit, but right back up to speed. And the 1-2 misses inside for a ball, evens up the count at 2-2. We're here in the top of the third inning as Corrigan's pitch is fouled off towards the left side, but that'll go out of play. Count remains at 2-2. So quickly, there are 2 outs. Here in the top of the third, Miners leading the Pilots 6-0. And the 2-2 pitch misses outside from Brady Corrigan. That'll fill up the count 3-2. Pitch in front of the windup, Corrigan swing and a miss. He got him. Effective work from Brady Corrigan here in the top of the third. If you blinked, you missed it. As the Matsu Miners are coming up to the plate at the bottom half. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. Welcome back into the broadcast. Connor Mills, Brad Walker with you. Matsu Miners are leading the Anchorage Glacier Pilots 6-0 as we're getting ready to begin the bottom of the third. It's another doubleheader against the Pilots. And again, 7 innings. First pitch into Kona Quiggle is taken outside.
First baseman number 24, Kona Quiggle.
And the second pitch is taken in there for a called strike. Kona Quiggle had an RBI single his last at-bat as he faces Dominic Foscalina, who bends a breaking pitch in there for a called strike 2. 1-2 the count, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the third. Foscalina misses outside with the fastball. Evens up the count at 2-2. Left-hand batter, Quiggle, grounds it over to third base. Charging over is Kosis, makes the strong throw to first in time, 1 away. Kona Quiggle trying to find a hole in the infield, can't find it.
Your third baseman number
Nice
30,
play from Kosis charging in to make the play.
Quiggle may have had a chance to run that out as it was a fairly weak hit ground over to third, but sort of stumbled out of the box. Nevertheless, still was great hustle over there and great play by the third baseman Kosis.
So with 1 down here in the bottom of the third, now bring up Tyler Bassetti. Bassetti watches the breaking pitch. Too low for a ball. First time at bat today. Bassetti got on with a walk, and he flies one up, and it's going to go straight back in foul territory. So the count even, 1-1, 1 out. Bottom of the third. Miners leading the Pilots 6-0, thanks to a 5-run inning. Foscalina's pitch is in the dirt for ball number 2. We're coming to you live from Herman Brothers Field here in Palmer, Alaska, home of the Matsu Miners. Tyler Bassetti at the plate, Dominic Foscolina. And Bassetti flies one in foul territory. Who's going to get it? Nobody, as it falls down in no man's land. 3 Pilots were over there. Third base, shortstop, and the left fielder, but Bassetti has life. Kostas would have been the player for the Pilots who had the best chance at making it. Would have had to make a tough basket catch. So now the count is 2-2. And Bassetti gets a hold of this one. This is blasted into left center field. That falls all the way back at the wall. One hopper. Bassetti rounding second. He's going to try for third. Tyler Bassetti going in, sliding head first, and he is safe. Safe is the call for Tyler Bassetti as he gets a leadoff triple. Scratch that. He's the second guy. Nonetheless, Tyler Bassetti gets the Miners back in business. With 1 out here in the bottom of the third, Bassetti showing off his wheels as he stands on third base with a triple. So Brett Owen, the second baseman at the plate now. He'll take the first pitch in from Foscolina for a ball.
Tell you what, Bassetti was given another life by the foul ball that wasn't caught, and he definitely took advantage of it. Belted one into left center field. An excellent hustle, Connor, to get all the way around second and in the third.
Yes, it was, as Foscolina misses again in the dirt. Now I thought that throw might have beaten Bassetti at third, but it was a good slide. He avoided the tag. And there's only 1 out. Foscolina setting deals. Finds the lower half of the strike zone against Owen. 1-1 to count. 1 out. Miners now have 6 hits and 6 runs as Foscolina misses outside. So with a shortened game, it's been a lot of excitement here in the early beginnings. Foscolina sets, deals, and it's a foul ball. Bassetti having to tiptoe his way back into fair territory so he doesn't get hit. Even though he got hit, if you do get hit in foul territory, it doesn't matter. Get hit in fair territory, somebody's out. Still, you don't want to get hit with a ball. And ball number 3 misses on the outside corner. So that'll be a walk. Ball 4 to Brett Owen. As now there are runners on the corners for the Miners with Braden Merritt. Another one of these Miners that has a lot of speed. Only 1 out, bottom of the third. As Merritt takes a pitch outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Brett Owen at first. Tyler Bassetti at third. Owen with a small lead. Foscolina's pitch, and it goes and hits Braden Merritt. Merritt with no reaction to the hit by pitch. Kind of just turned his back. I think it got him in the soft spot. And now the bases are juiced for our leadoff hitter, number 2, Drew Swift. And with the hit by pitch and bases being loaded, catcher Presno is going to take a walk to the mound, as well as their pitching coach, or one of their assistant coaches. Pitching coach is not listed on there. It's a good time to go through their coaching staff, though. Guido Espedia, the head coach for the Pilots. Larry McCann, associate head coach. Shane Moisello, assistant coach. Anthony Gonzalez, one of the assistant coaches, and the general manager for the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, Mike Hinshaw. So the leadoff batter, Drew Swift, at the plate as the Miners look to tack on some more runs and extend their lead. They're leading 6-0 here in the bottom of the third. The pitch from Foscolina raises high and inside for ball number 1. Brad, there's nowhere to put Swift.
No, there isn't. And Foscolina, normally a position guy, definitely not used to this pressure of bases loaded, and especially being a pitcher. So it'll be interesting to see what he does here.
Swift lines this one into foul territory, going out of play. Puts the count at 1-1. As we look at the roster, Foscolina is listed as an outfielder from the University of Utah. From the set, he deals. Finds the outside corner against Swift. Gets ahead in the count 1-2.
And Swift is one of those guys that tends to put the ball in play, whether he's batting for a high average or not. Definitely always gets the bat on it.
And Swift goes down swinging. So strike 3 to Drew Swift. And now there are 2 outs with the bases still loaded for Danny Wright. Wright today got on with a walk in the bottom of the second inning. And in the first, had a single, came around to score a run. So Danny Wright steps in against Dominic Foscolina as he looks to get through the bottom of the third unscathed with the bases loaded. First pitch from Foscolina is on the outside for a ball. So Foscolina trying to work his way out of a jam. And this one is lined into right field, coming on his right fielder. He won't be able to make the play. 1 run is in. Here comes a second run. Tyler Bassetti and Brett Owen are in. Standing on first base with a 2 RBI single, his second hit of the day. His 3rd time on base is Danny Wright.
Now batting, your designated hitter number 15, Aaron Walters.
So tack on 2 more against Foscolina. The Miners have a commanding 8-0 lead over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. And now a very dangerous bat in Aaron Walters. Walters in search for his first hit, and he swings at the first pitch and pops it up high into the infield. First baseman calls everybody off, makes a catch, and the side is retired. So on a couple of hits, 2 runs, no errors, and 2 left on base, the Matsu Miners are leading the Anchorage Glacier Pilots 8-0 here after the end of the third. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. Welcome into the broadcast. If you're just joining us, you've missed an exciting first couple innings for the Miners as they lead 8-0 with Brady Corrigan on the mound. His first pitch into Eli Rollinson. Misses on the inside for a ball. Corrigan now has a commanding 8-0 lead as Rollinson lines this one over the third baseman Bassetti and into left field. That's the first hit against Corrigan today. So Eli Rollinson, the Alaskan Baseball League home run champion, gets on with a single. And by champion, I mean he is leading with 1 home run. Not much power has been on display yet, but it's still the early beginnings of the season. So Rollinson's on first. Batting now is Aaron McCann, and he takes the first pitch from Corrigan too far outside for a ball. 1-0 the count, nobody out, runner on first. Miners leading the Pilots 8-0. And this one is lined into left field, slicing foul. Danny Wright given charge, but just couldn't get to it in time, as he would have had to run a long distance to try to get that one. So Aaron McCann, count now sits at 1-1. McCann, the last time up, flew out to center field. Takes that pitch from Corrigan for a ball. Two balls, 1 strike to McCann. He takes the fastball from Corrigan high. Avitia walks in front of the plate to try to slow down Corrigan. Not a big lead from Rollinson at first. And the pitch to McCann is outside, and he walks him. Ball 4 to Aaron McCann, as the Pilots look to get something going here in the top of the 4th. Emilio Nogales, one of the new Pilots, new additions to the roster. Playing first base today. Was hit by a pitch, made it all the way to third base, but could not come around to score. Corrigan from the stretch fires low and inside, and Avitia is going to go talk to Brady Corrigan.
Corrigan now up to 5 walks on the day after that last walk issued. Bit of a command problem, but good for Corrigan. Has definitely bounced back off of it, not even giving up a run, let alone a hit until this inning. So is keeping the damage very minimal, actually none to say.
Well, we'll see if he can get out of this one. Runners at first and second. Little dribbler up to first base. Corrigan firing over to second. Switz has it. Goes over to first base in time. Double play. So that's exactly what Brady Corrigan wanted. Fielded his position cleanly. Drew Swift with the nice transfer over to first. As now there are 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. And Corrigan needs 1 more out. Get out of it without giving up a run. So 2 double plays really helped Brady Corrigan here in this game, as the first pitch to Presno is fouled away and out of play. Almost goes all the way to the 322 mark in right field, but foul territory. Miners have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen, just having a catch. As the 1-1 pitch goes high, count is at 2-1. So after being in a little bit of trouble with runners at first and second, Corrigan gets a double play, gets 2 outs. Now he has to deal with the runner at third as he gets the breaking pitch in there for a called strike to even up the count at 2-2. Brady Corrigan. Set, pitch. This one's lined into center field, and that will bring in the first run for the Pilots. Zach Presno with a base hit will bring in Eli Rollinson, as the shutout is no more. But with 8 runs, I don't really think that run matters, right, Brad?
No, not really. And Corrigan did an excellent job getting out of the original with 2 runners on. So just a slight base hit. I'm sure he'll shake it off and keep moving on in this game.
So the first pitch into Garrick Kosas is fouled off for strike number 1. 0-1 the count, 2 outs. Runner at first, Zach Presno. Swing and a miss from Kosas, as he's quickly behind 0-2. Not a big lead from Fresno over at first, and Corrigan misses high with the pitch. A waste pitch to bring the count to 1-2. 1-2, 2 outs. Runner at first. Miners leading the Pilots 8-1 on the RBI single from Zach Presno, as Brady Corrigan gets a strikeout looking. So Brady Corrigan gives up 1 run on 1 hit. No errors, 1 left on base, as the Pilots get 1 across, but they still trail the Miners 8-1. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. So we have a pitching change, as Dominic Foscolina comes out here in the bottom of the 4th. Now pitching for the Pilots is Grant Parker, number 33. Hunter Jump swings through his first pitch. An off-speed pitch to start off Jump. Jump grounds this one to shortstop, fielded cleanly, thrown over to first, a little wild, but Nogales is able to make the tag, and Hunter Jump is out.
Your catcher, number 22, David Avitia.
David Avitia come to the plate. Avitia got on with a walk and struck out his last time up. Avitia watches the pitch from Parker go in, and looks like there's a little confusion as Parker kind of just shrugged at his catcher Presno. So the right-hander throws a breaking pitch into Avitia, in for a called strike.
So far, Jump and Avitia seem to be in front of the pitches here.
Yep, Avitia swung on that one and swings on this one too. Pops it over to second base, and Curtis makes a catch. Gerard was calling for it, and the shortstop, Aruda, also talks to Curtis. As a rule of thumb, when the outfielder calls it off, outfielder gets it. That avoids any confusion.
Yeah, very surprising that Curtis decided to make the catch.
First pitch from Parker to Conaquiggle is a ball. Working quickly now is Parker as he misses in the dirt. Good block by Presno. Now they're quickly 2 away as Grant Parker is faring a little bit better than Dominic Foscolina did. Swing and a miss at the off-speed pitch from Quiggle as the count goes to 2-1. So 2-1, 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. And Quiggle fouls off this pitch to even up the count at 2. Matsu is leading Anchorage 8-1. The Miners have 7 hits. Pilots getting 2 hits. That happened in the top of the fourth. And Quiggle grounds one into the hole, and he can't get it. Quiggle with a single. Curtis did his best over at second base to try to field that ball, but it went right under his glove. That'll be the 8th hit for the Miners today, as Conaquiggle stands on first base with a 2-out single. As Tyler Bassetti comes back to the plate, his last time up was exciting. A triple showing off the wheels for everybody here at Palmer. Parker to Bassetti is in the dirt. Good block from Presno yet again. So Grant Parker staring in, gets the call, and misses high with the fastball. Grant Parker, another one of these pilots listed as an infielder, taking the mound today. As his pitch to Bassetti is too high, he falls behind Tyler Bassetti 3-0. 3-0, 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Grant Parker listed as 6'2", 205 pounds, a redshirt sophomore. And it's ball 4 to Tyler Bassetti.
Now batting, your second baseman, number 1, Brett Owen.
Brett Owen coming to the plate. Back to Grant Parker, redshirt sophomore from the University of Southern California, from La Canada, California. His first pitch into Owen is a pop fly that's going to go straight behind the press box.
Parker in that last at bat just couldn't really find anywhere near the strike zone. Really struggled in that last at bat to Bozzetti. Brett Owen looks to take advantage.
And this one is a pop fly over shallow right field. Center fielder calls him off this time. Gerard makes the catch on the run, and the side is retired. So Tyler Bassetti gets on base with the walk. Conaquiggle with a single, but the Miners can't bring him around. That's all right. They're leading the Anchorage Glacier Pilots 8-1 as we head towards the top of the fifth. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. New pitcher for the Miners as we enter the top of the fifth. Josh Haley on the mound will come in relief for Brady Corrigan. Haley had the first win of the season for the Miners in relief of Nolan Monahan, game one, where they won and beat the Chinooks. His first pitch into Zachariah Gerard is in there for a called strike. Second pitch into Gerard is, we'll go inside for a ball. Always tough to call balls and strikes, as we are not the home plate umpire. But this one is in there for a called strike. 1-2 the count. Top of the fifth. Miners leading the Pilots 8-1. Miners have a great offensive production here. 8 hits, 8 runs. Pilots 2 hits, 1 run. Josh Haley getting Zachariah Gerard out in front for his first strikeout of the day. 1 out. And now that will bring the top of the lineup to Jordan Aruda. We got a little stat update. Haley won game 2 of the doubleheader against the Pilots. As the first pitch into Jordan Aruda is fouled away. Second pitch into Aruda, taken a little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Josh Haley, the lefty. Ground ball snagged by Haley. He's going to jog it over, underhand toss to Quiggle, and that's 2 down. Some fast reflexes for Josh Haley. Gets him the second out of the inning.
Really was. Nice play from Haley out there on the mound, who finished with his glove kind of hanging out on the right, and then when it was hit back, didn't have to move it quite as much, just had to make sure he snagged it, and he did. So nice glove work there from the lefty.
And he starts off Elliott Curtis with a called strike. Haley bats left, throws left, 6 foot, 225 pounds from Lakewood, California. Nice pick from Quiggle at first, and the side is retired. So Kona Quiggle able to handle the line drive ground out as he looks very comfortable, the outfielder transitioning over to first base. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base as the Miners are leading the Anchorage Glacier Pilots 8-0. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio.
Your Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by Napa Auto Parts of Alaska. And big thanks to owner Jim Ruda. Also, the Miners jersey giveaway. Go to your locally owned and operated Napa store to enter and win today. Once again, thank you to Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda, as they are your official sponsor, the Matsu Miners Internet radio broadcast.
So we got a stat line on Dominic Foscolina. This is Grant Parker on the mound, but for Foscolina, he went 3 innings, allowed 7 hits, 8 runs, all were earned, gave up 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. At the plate now is Braden Merritt. As we are here in the bottom of the 5th, broadcasting live from Herman Brothers Field here in Palmer, Alaska. Matsu Miners and Anchorage Glacier Pilots as Merritt pops one up. It's going into foul territory by the press box, and Well, we could almost catch that if the net wasn't there. Well, Braden Merritt staying alive. That foul ball just out of play for the catcher, Fresno.
And for those who don't know, there is a ball actually hanging literally right in front of our window. So we almost added to that collection today.
And Braden Merritt lines this one into right center field. That's moving back. And making the catch is Eli Rollinson. Showing a lot of range. Number 12, Eli Rollinson. A long fly out for Braden Merritt. Brings up the top of the order for the Matsu Miners. Drew Swift at the plate. Takes the first pitch in from Parker. Too low for a ball. Fresno blocked the pitch. Got a little away. Drew Swift fouling the second pitch off over to the left side in foul territory. Count is at 1-1. Once again, we're here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Drew Swift at the plate. Graham Parker on the mound, and this one is grounded into the hole on the left side. It eats up the shortstop, Aruda, and Drew Swift will be on first base with an error. So Drew Swift causing all sorts of problems with his speed. Made Jordan Aruda hurry up his play, couldn't handle it. And Swift is on base again. Now at the plate, Danny Wright. And the first pitch to Danny Wright is in there for a called strike. Miners are leading the Pilots 8-1. Drew Swift at first base, not a big lead. As Wright takes Parker's pitch too low for ball number 1. Danny Wright grounds this one over to shortstop. Another chance for Aruda. And safe is a call. So a slow grounder over to shortstop. First base umpire says Danny Wright beat the play out. That'll be an infield single for Danny Wright. His third hit of the day. So the offense just keeps on rolling for the Miners as they are back in business with Aaron Walters at the plate. Bottom of the fifth, Aaron Walters swings at the first pitch. Live ball, foul territory, back behind the press box. 1 out, 9 hits now. First time the Miners have more hits than runs today. And the pitch from Parker is taken on the outside corner for a called strike. The Miners got 2 players from Texas A&M as their college ball seasons. We'll get back to that in a minute as Walters grounds out to third base. Strong throw gets Walters. And that'll be out number 2. Some of the new additions, as we were saying, for the Miners is Aaron Walters and Asa Lacey, a left-hand pitcher from Texas A&M, both from the same hometown in Caryville, Texas. So Hunter Jump is at the plate with 2 away and runners in scoring position. Danny Wright at second, Drew Swift at third. The pitch from Parker taken on the outside. Fresno tried to frame it, couldn't get the call. The pitch over to Jump. This one is lined left field, but slicing foul. As the count is now 1 ball, 1 strike. With 2 outs here to Hunter Jump. Recap the inning. Braden Merritt flew out A long fly out to right field. Drew Swift reached base on an error by the shortstop. Danny Wright had an infield single, and Aaron Walters had a 5-3 putout as we arrive to Hunter Jump, who took the last pitch for a ball to bring the count to 2-1. So 2-1, 2 outs. Jump holding his swing. Check over to second base umpire. He does. Count now goes to 3-1 in favor of Jump. Hunter Jump from Arizona State. And this one is a fly ball into right field. Slicing foul, and it will go foul. Giving chase was Eli Rollinson. Again, showing off the impressive range that he has. As he was playing a little bit towards right center field. Had to go a long way. And Jump needing to do it all over again. 3-2, 2 outs. Runners will not be in motion as there is nobody on first. Parker shaking off Presno 2 times. Set, and he deals. This one is a line drive into foul territory. Look out. As a good crowd here at Herman Brothers Field. Couple kids chasing over, get the foul ball. Always nice to get a little souvenir. Parker to Jump. Payoff pitch is a fly ball, shallow left field. And the outfielder, Daniel, in left, ranges over to make the basket catch. So on one hit, 2 runners left on base. No errors, no runs. As the Matsu Miners are still leading the Anchorage Glacier Pilots 8-1. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. This game has progressed into the top of the 6th inning. Matsu Miners leading the Pilots 8-1. Connor Mills, Brad Walker with you. Josh Haley still on the mound for the Miners as his pitch into Braden Daniel is good for a called strike. And the second pitch falls a little bit too low. Josh Haley from Lakewood, California. His pitch is fouled off towards the left side. 1-2 the count. Haley went to Gahair High School. The son of John and Judy Haley has a brother, Jake, as he misses high and outside. Goes to the University of Arizona. A freshman there and undecided on a major. As he misses the last 2 balls, brings the count full to 3-2.
Decided isn't such a bad thing. He still has 3 more years left.
Swing and a miss. And Josh Haley gets another strikeout, his second on the day. That'll bring up Eli Rollinson. As we mentioned before, he is leading the Alaskan Baseball League in home runs. Rollinson's game yesterday against the Chinooks, as he takes the fastball on the outside from Haley. Against the Chinooks, he went 1 for 4, had 4 RBIs. A big offensive day for him yesterday, as it is a pop fly into left field. Danny Wright ranging over, makes a catch, and there are 2 away. So Josh Haley settling into a groove, as he's been looking good for the past 1 2/3 of an inning. Aaron McCann, the designated hitter. Now at the plate, lefty on lefty matchup. First fastball from Haley to McCann is in there for a strike. David Avitia behind the plates for the Miners. Catches a ball from Haley. Nothing special going on in the field. Infielders are back as McCann blasts one into right field, but that sails foul. If it was fair, it had the distance. That might have went over the second fence for the driveway.
Yeah, that one was cranked. McCann just a little early on Haley's pitch to sail it all the way over to foul.
It was clear skies earlier on. Clouds have started to roll in, but still great baseball weather here in Palmer, Alaska. Haley's pitch is too low for ball number 2. 2-2, 2 outs. Miners leading the Pilots 8-1. Swing and a miss, and he got him. So Josh Haley, 3 strikeouts in 2 innings pitched, as the Miners are still leading the Pilots, as the game will go into the bottom of the 6th. Should be the last ups for the Miners, as we're only going 7 today with the doubleheader. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. We're here in the bottom of the 6th inning, which should be the last at-bats for the Matsu Miners. We're going 7 innings today for Game 1 and Game 2 of the doubleheader. Grant Parker pitching in to David Avitia. Avitia fouls it off. So Avitia got on with a walk, struck out, and flied out to second base so far today, as the pitch from Parker goes through the mitt of catcher Presno. Again, new catchers, new pitchers, all trying to get to learn each other. And David Avitia swings through the changeup from Grant Parker. Count at 1-2. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Miners leading Pilots 8-1. Avitia watches the ball skip into the dirt to even up the count at 2-2. At the conclusion of Game 1, 40 minutes will go by, and then we'll play another one. Parker's pitch. Avitia hits this one into center field. Gerard ranging under it, makes a one-handed grab, and there is one out.
Your first base, number 24, Kona Quiggle.
Kona Quiggle now come to the plate. Quiggle had a single, an RBI single, as he takes the first pitch from Parker for a ball. Quiggle also grounded out to third base. One ball, one strike now, as Parker finds a plate. So all the runs today being charged to Dominic Fascalina, the starter for the Pilots, as Parker misses outside. Fascalina giving up all 8 runs. As we've mentioned before, he's listed as an outfielder. As a pitch from Parker is in there for a called strike. Two, 1 out, and the pitch sails a little bit high to Kona Quiggle. Quiggle batting from the right side. Jacket batting from the left side. Swings at this one, fouls off into foul territory and out of play. And the pitch to foul straight back, hits the catcher Presno. And we'll do it again. 3-2, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Miners still leading the Pilots 8-1. And the payoff pitch is outside, ball 4. So Kona Quiggle is on base for his 3rd time today.
Now batting, your third baseman,
Minor- The Miners have had at least 1 runner on base in all 6 innings today, or 5 1/3. As Tyler Bassetti stepping in from the right side, facing Grant Parker. Ball's too low. It's going to be 1-0. So Bassetti, swing and miss. Evens up the count at 1-1. Coming into today, he had 6 at-bats for the Miners. 1 hit. Add another one with his triple as he fouls it back. Bassetti's on-base percentage is perfect here in Game 1. A walk in the first inning, a triple in the 3rd, and another walk in the bottom of the 4th. Count 1-2, 1 out. Runner at first for Grant Parker. Parker's pitch. This one is swung on and laced into left field, but sliding foul. Another solid barreling up of the bat for Tyler Bassetti. Quiggle taking his time, walking back to first. Grant Parker. And the pitch. Too low, and a good block from Presno. One thing, if you ever come out to Alaska, you'll have to watch out for the mosquitoes. As I see our second base umpire swatting away. And the 2-2 misses low to bring the count 3-2. Three, 2, 1 out, runner at first. Parker's pitch, and Bassetti fouls it off. A high and inside pitch. He turned on it. And it appears A fan made a nice catch. As the fans here, give him a round of applause. So Tyler Bassetti, 3-2. A pop fly. This one will stay in fair territory. Tough time for Fresno to eye up the ball, but he makes the basket catch to retire Bassetti. Third baseman Kosas, the pitcher Parker, and Fresno with a 3 in the area in foul territory. And Fresno, who couldn't really see the ball, wound up making the catch. So now there are 2 away. Kona Quiggle at first base, Parker on the mound, and Brett Owen at the plate.
O'Connor, great crowd again on hand here at Herman Brothers Field, and a small sea of blue actually near the Pilots dugout on the left side. Other than that, it's all green and white, or green and yellow, I should say, Miners fans.
And the pitch from Parker. This one's lined out into foul territory. Similar colors to our college, Ohio University, green and white. But the Miners,
Indeed.
green and yellow, with a splash of white on there as well.
Oh yeah, no, all home whites today. That's what threw me off.
And the pitch from Parker, taken by Brett Owen. Two balls and 1 strike. And the pitch finds the low outside corner of the strike zone. That ties up the count at 2-2. So 2-2, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Miners are leading the Pilots 8-1. Kona Quiggle at first, Grant Parker on the mound, and the pitch to Owen. They're going to check over to first base umpire, and he says he did not go. So now that runs the count full. Kona Quiggle will be set in motion. 3-2, 2 outs. Brett Owen at the plate. The pitch from Parker, swing and a miss. And he got him. So Brett Owen goes down swinging as the Miners head to the top of the 7th and hope to close it out here as they lead the Pilots 8-1. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. So Josh Haley takes a mound once again for the Miners, as Haley is going for his 2nd win in his 2nd appearance for Matsu. Left-hander to another left-handed batter. Emilio Nogales at the plate. The first pitch to Nogales is a ball. So should Haley end this inning, as Nogales pop fly into foul territory, third baseman Bassetti makes a 2-hand catch in foul territory to retire Nogales. As we were about to say, should Haley close out this inning, he gets a win. Miners will go 3-1 on the season. And we have our attendance numbers here today. Our final attendance is 828 for game 1. As Haley misses with 2 balls. Count is at 2-0. My phone was a little bit too slow. Thank you, Brad, for bringing up the official attendance numbers. As Haley falls behind Zach Presno. 3-0. 3-0 pitch is in there for a called strike. 3-1 the count. Presno today got on base in the top of the second with a walk as he fouls back Haley's pitch. Got on base with a walk. And then in the top of the 4th inning, had an RBI single to bring in the Pilots' lone run. Haley's pitch. Too far outside for ball 4. So that's the first base runner Haley has allowed in his 2 1/3 of an innings pitched. So Haley will now face Garrett Kosas. Kosas walked in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 4th, and takes the first pitch for a ball. So Zach Presno on first, Haley on the mound, swing and a miss for Garrett Kosas as he fouls it off. One and one to count, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Miners needing 2 more outs to close it out. And then a 40-minute wait as this one is popped up into center field. Braden Merritt eyeing it up. Circling under, makes a 2-handed grab. And now 2 are retired. Out number 2. And the Anchorage Glacier Pilots are down to their final out. And we'll look to Zachariah Gerard to keep them alive. Zachariah Gerard grounded out into a 6-4-3 double play in the 2nd. And then struck out in the 5th. The first pitch, this one's popped up to Braden Merritt in center field. He's ranging back into right center, making the 1-handed grab, and the ball game is over. So the Matsu Miners improved their record to 2-1. Josh Haley picks up his 2nd win of the year. As we're going to wait 40 minutes to do this all over again. It's the Matsu Miners and Anchorage Glacier Pilots playing our doubleheader. Game 1 final. The Matsu Miners 8. Glacier Pilots 1. Josh Haley comes in for 3 innings pitched. Allows no hits, no runs. 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts for his final line as he picks up the win. The starter today, Brady Corrigan, went 4 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, as he pitched superbly for his first start. Once again, your final, the Matsu Miners 8, Anchorage Glacier Pilots 1. Miners go to 3-1 on the season. Pilots are at an even 3-2. We'll see how everything shakes up in game 2. Brad Walker will have the call for you. I'll still be around. You're listening to the Matsu Miners on the Miner Radio. We'll be back in around 40 minutes.